Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, helping you thrive at every stage of your journey.
Cape Breton Beverages is a fourth-generation, family-owned soft drink bottling franchise in Edwardsville, Nova Scotia. The company bottles and distributes Pepsi's colorful palette of soft drinks throughout Cape Breton Island. They also distribute their product to other locations in the Maritimes, Quebec, and Ontario.
So it was historically a family-run business that my great-grandfather had set up one of his sons, John, with, who was my grandfather's brother. My grandfather eventually worked for John and really helped run the business. And then in 1976, he bought out his brother and it became Cape Breton Beverages. Previously it was Ideal Beverages, but it's been the same franchise agreement since the beginning. So that's why I view it as this year's 76 years of the company's history.
All soft drinks, including Pepsi, start with water. Municipal water is pumped into a reaction tank for purification. Any organic matter or unwanted minerals settle to the bottom of this tank as the water continues through a sand filter. It then gets stored in a holding tank. Finally, the water passes through a carbon filter, micron filter, and finally an ultraviolet light, killing any possible bacteria that may be present. The Pepsi Corporation requires its franchise license holders to adhere to strict guidelines. Every part of the process is tested. A water sample is taken. Its pH and alkalinity are tested in the lab to ensure it's up to standards. The treated water continues to be pumped to the product batching syrup preparation room to begin making Pepsi. There are stainless steel tanks of various sizes, but today a 6,057-liter tank is filled. High fructose corn syrup is pumped to the tank next from one of two 19,000-liter sugar tanks. The amount of corn syrup used depends upon the specific drink recipe. This water-syrup combination makes simple syrup the first step for many soft drinks. Like with all major soft drink manufacturers, the recipes are a highly guarded secret. Pepsi pre-mixes as much of its product as possible elsewhere before sending these ingredients to the bottling plant in opaque containers. The smaller jugs contain secret ingredients, while the larger ones are Pepsi Cola flavoring. One by one, they're opened and poured in. Once the batch of syrup is completely mixed and quality tested, the tank is hooked up to the production line. A pump is primed, and the syrup is sent to the blending unit in the bottling plant. This mixes 1 part syrup to 5 parts treated water and sends this blend to the carbo cooler. Here, the combination chills to 2 degrees and adds carbon dioxide gas for 10 minutes. CO2 adds the famous fizz and sparkling taste of soft drinks, finalizing the Pepsi. This finished product is then sent to the filling station to be bottled. The owner of Cape Breton Beverages operates a sister company, Transatlantic Preforms, where all their bottled preforms are made. These are blown into their required bottle sizes by another subsidiary, Cape Breton Plastics. Palletized empty bottles are stored on site and depalletized as needed. 2,400 bottles have their plastic wrap and ties removed on the depalletizer's in-feed conveyor. Each bottle will hold 591 milliliters of Pepsi. One layer is removed from the pallet at a time by a mechanical loader with pneumatic arms, placing these on a conveyor. A protective cardboard layer is removed using suction. The bottles make their way to the bottling room where they're rinsed, removing any potential residue. An air conveyor transports the bottles to the filling station. The bottles are loaded into the filler, and once full, they're sent to the capper, where a plastic screw cap is attached. As they exit the bottling room, each bottle is rinsed with fresh water and dried with an air knife. The date coder engraves an expiration and bottle manufacturing date using a laser. Workers take random bottles from this line for quality control testing. Testing will ensure the product meets specifications and contains the right amount of CO2. Too little CO2 and the Pepsi may be flat before it reaches the customer. On the production line, an accumulation table holds product until they're sent to an in-feed screw. This separates them and loads them into a labeling machine. A small amount of glue is applied and a label is rolled onto a bottle. These are cut precisely from a large roll. The conveyor takes completed bottles to the packaging line, where they're gathered into whatever sized package is needed. An arm pops up, separating this stream of bottles into groups of 24, moving them along. Here, they're wrapped in plastic and go through a shrink wrap machine. A case code is printed on each package of 24 bottles, which then travel by conveyor to the palletizer. Pallets are loaded into the palletizer by hand. Cases are then automatically loaded onto the pallet using a differential turner. This places them into a unique palletization pattern. The layer hoists, then transfers each layer of cases. Finally, a turntable rotates the full pallet, encircling it in stretch wrap. Finished pallets are stored in the warehouse. 10 of these full pallets are built every hour. Pallets are delivered across Cape Breton Island and as far west as Ontario.
We do export a specialty package. It's a 8-pack of the 355 ml bottles, and we ship those to Quebec and the rest of the Maritimes, and eventually we will also be shipping to Ontario. And so the beauty of that is it supplements our business. Our franchise agreement is 76 years old, and it is for the territory of Cape Breton, which is pretty small in the grand scheme of things. The two other privately owned family bottlers are Newfoundland and Labrador, pretty large territory, and also Quebec City and parts of Quebec. So quite substantial. So the fact that we're able to supplement our production by producing these 8-pack products that we're able to export off island, it allows us to be able to employ more people and run more continuous shifts. So it's definitely been like my focus is to try to increase that amount of business that we do that's supplemental, because it allows us to, generate more economic impact locally.
Invest Nova Scotia supports businesses, providing the tools and expertise you need to succeed.